Haru, what are you doing?
All right, anyways, I just got back from the trail. This is the follow-up video that I was saying that I was going to do. This is the semi-replacement wheel to my 22-inch trail wheel. This is actually based on my old V3/V1 hybrid master. It's the 20-inch rim with a couple different things. I pretty much salvaged all of the old electronics and put them into this new wheel. The shell itself is completely new construction. It's my own design, and I followed a much different design language than what I used for the 22-inch wheel that's sitting over there. What's so different about this guy? I'm going to try to keep it short because I tend to yap too much in these little videos of mine. The entire shell of this wheel is built out of aluminum. It is 5052 aluminum, and I have used the CNC service / online service to basically laser cut and CNC bend all of the panels so that the chassis is geometrically very rigid. Basically what I did is I turned every plate into a flange or a U-channel, whatever, and then I created a box structure from that. The design language is very similar to what you would get from like a Patton or maybe some of the extreme bull wheels, where they kind of have the side panels, or just like a really big flat side panel, and they bridge across the top. And then the thing that I did that's a little bit different is I created a flat plate that bolts into the flanges on all sides, and then you have this cross brace here to kind of encourage the entire shape of the structure to remain very, very square. Like I just said, I did get back from riding the trails, and I'm very happy to report that the wheel held up wonderfully. I did crash a few times because it is mighty dry out there, and it is so loose. We're in the middle of a heat wave right now. Everything is just absolutely baked. There's like soft sand everywhere. Anyways, I even lost a pad over there. I have the pad, but the internal structure on the pad kind of fractured and it's not usable anymore. So I'm printing a replacement right now. That's why there's some noise in the background. Anyways, back to the wheel. Let's kind of cover the specifics here. I have some EX30 pedals. They are a little bit lighter than the original master pedals, and I was trying to optimize for weight. So that's that. I'm using these they came from Hao Ningning. They were originally for these adjustable pedal height things, but I bent the plate that they're supposed to mount to. So I ended up throwing those away, but I kept these mounts, and I'm really glad that I kept those mounts because I can use them in this wheel. This piece down here, which basically creates your pedal bracket or bolts the pedal bracket onto the flat panel of the shell, is stainless steel. Did I need stainless steel? Probably not, but I've had good success with it, and I wanted something that was really strong, really durable, so I paid the weight penalty and made it out of stainless steel. Flat panels, again, 5052 aluminum, 5052 aluminum for the top panels. And then here's something that's interesting. Those are dual dampers. And if you look closely, it says DNM. This is F18 suspension. I have created a way to bolt F18 suspension to Bogode motors. And basically that's what I'm using for this wheel. The next thing that's really interesting, really there's only one other thing, and I'm going to point you guys right at the top of the panel. You guys can read what that says. It says 32S 2P RS50. That is talking about the battery layout. Now, 32S meaning 32 cells in series, 2P meaning two cells in parallel. So the original master used battery packs that look like this. Those are the 4P, 32S 4P Samsung 50E batteries. I am using half the battery. So since I have removed 2P groups instead of, so I have 2P instead of 4P. The original battery is 32S4P, Samsung 50E. Why is that so significant? So for anybody who is not particularly versed in what the RS50 is, that's basically a high discharge cell. It's pretty much the best of the best that you can get right now. There are better cells that are out on the market, but they're extremely hard to get. These ones are absolutely amazing, and their track record's really good too. They give you the numbers really quick. They have the same capacity as the Samsung 50E at 5,000 milliamp hours per cell, but the discharge current that the RS50 can put out is about like 8 times higher than what one of the Samsung 50E cells can do. So the Samsung 50E is rated for 10 amps continuous. The RS50 can technically do like 80 amps continuous if you have active cooling. If you don't have active cooling, then you can go up to about 45 amps. So since I don't have active cooling, my cells are basically 4 times stronger than the 50Es that are in the original master. Now, since I have 2P, 2 cells in parallel, that means you add the 2 currents together, yeah, you get roughly like what, 80 amps, 90 amps continuous out of only 2 cells in parallel. You compare that to the original master battery that had the 50Es, that is 4 in parallel, but they can only do 10 amps each, so you're really only 40 amps total. So in summary, what does that mean? It means that despite having half the cells, my discharge is double the original battery. And that also means that my wheel is a lot lighter, and the only thing that I have paid as a price is my range is cut in half because my overall capacity is lower. But for the kind of trails that I'm doing, I'd probably run less than 20 miles, and I'm totally burned out, can't ride anymore. So a pack like this is actually totally fine for me. I did all of the trails that I wanted to do today, and the battery is at like 45%, 40% around there. So I probably had enough for another extra lap if I really wanted to. As far as specs for the wheel, it's 80 pounds, including all of the pads and bumpers. If I remove the pads of the bumpers and the seat, it's closer to about 75. If I had, and a lot of that weight actually comes from the motor, because the original C38 motor, it's all aluminum. It's not like the lighter magnesium motors that we get today. The motor with the tire is actually like 32 or 33 pounds, something like that. So that's almost half the weight of the wheel just in the motor. Not a whole lot that I can do about that. I'm not about to buy a whole damn new motor, spend all that money when I'm using a bunch of old components in the wheel anyways. So yeah, I think that's most of what I needed to cover. If I missed anything or anything that you guys particularly want to see, I guess I can talk about the battery packs that are in there. Very similar to the way that I made the battery packs in my previous wheel, except this time I just put them through Shinko and have them use 1mm thick aluminum, same 5052, and they did such a good job. It was so easy to bolt those in. Batteries packs fit perfectly. Oh yeah, really quick about the batteries. I did build the batteries myself. I did the tab weld or the cell welding all by myself. I used copper, nickel sandwich, and then yeah, the whatever for the BMS. I do have a BMS in here. And then the wiring for the motor wires it's actually similar to the F18, except I did it with angled aluminum. So these are angled aluminum L brackets right here. And then you have this 3D printed cross brace. It's hard to see, but in between the aluminum panels front and back like this, or the L channels front to back, which is further back in there, I pretty much can't point to it, but there's another 3D print that bridges across those two. So this is a pretty rigid structure. It's nice and good. It's not going anywhere. Yeah, motor wire goes up into the motherboard. This is a very similar way that they do it on a lot of like the more modern Begode wheels, basically kind of like the Blitz or the X-Way, where they go up through a hole on the bottom of the top panel, and then they put a gasket around it and it plugs right into the motherboard. Pretty much exactly the same. Top is 3D printed. This is a TPU nylon blend. No display for me. I wired these up, so the on off button and spin kill button, buzzer, voltage display, and then I have a bell on the back. And oh, there was one casualty for the trail today, and that is my mudguard. Oh no, my mudguard ripped. That's because this thing is so damn floppy, and that's exactly what happened. It got eaten by the tire and it got ripped apart. So I'll probably get rid of this thing. It's not really doing anything anyways. This video is already 10 minutes long. I yapped way too much, even though I said I was going to try to be concise. If there's anything else that I missed, feel free to let me know. Thanks. Bye-bye.